Hey guys, Geoff here with athletic-mission.com, a membership player development website and facility for baseball players. And today, I want to talk about an important part of the swing and an important part of putting off a good swing, and that's balance. All right, let's talk about the swing. We've been talking a lot about hitting, but let's talk about the swing. And before we get into this channel provides, the focus is providing fundamental process and the routine that players and coaches can use to improve their knowledge and their skills. So please subscribe to the channel so you can get all future videos. But as I said before, let's talk about the swing today. And today we're going to talk about the setup and then the positive move, and then understanding balance and why it's important. So let's go over to the cage. Okay, so when it comes to balance and making our forward move into a balanced 50-50 position, we need to understand that it starts with our setup. If we set up in a balanced position, then we are best able to maintain balance throughout the swing. If we can get our setup right and get our forward move right, and we're on time, then we're going to be able to put off a pretty good and a pretty efficient swing, which is the goal. Too many hitters are fighting against their body and are working way too hard to get off a good swing. So I'm going to talk about two different things. One, we're going to talk about the balance in the setup, what that looks like, how we train and cue guys to getting into a good setup position. And then two, we're going to talk about the forward move into a 50-50 launch position and what that looks like, how we train and how we cue guys to getting into this position properly. Okay, so starting with our setup and what it should look like. We want our hitters to be in an athletic position. Now, a lot of players do not understand how to properly get into the athletic position. So you have to help them understand this. So what we do simply is we simply start by telling them, number one, your position of your feet should be slightly wider than your shoulders. That should make your knees on the inside of your feet. And then finally, we want them to understand that your chest needs to be over your feet. This is going to put us in a 50-50 position. So what we typically see kids do, and again, we can go on and on and on about that, but the biggest thing I want to kind of bring up is the weight distribution. So we'll see kids that are, 45, 55, 40, 60, 30, 70, and this sets up, for the most part, sets up issues in the swing later on. So in doing this, we will have in getting into this athletic position, we have the balanced 50-50 position. The weight distribution is in the middle. Now, there are a lot of different things that we can do to help a kid find this position. One of them we'll have them do a squat. Now, it's very hard to do that when you're unbalanced. Another thing that we'll have them do, if we want to, we'll have them jump and land into an athletic position. Another thing we can do is have them close their eyes and just start bringing awareness of where they are in space. And eventually they'll find balance. And then the final thing we could do is perform the horse's stance as in martial arts. Basically what you're doing is you're just tucking your pelvis underneath and you'll get balance. So any of those four things will do the trick. Just kind of mess around with them, find one that works for you. Find balance and start in balance. Now, this is taking into consideration that you have a neutral stance. You can obviously have an open stance, and really you might actually want that. It might be better so that you can set your shoulder angles, ensure that you have both eyes on the pitcher. But just know that no matter how you set up, we can get into a balanced position. Now that we have found balance, now we get to perform our positive move, or our forward move. The positive or forward move is the linear move prior to going into rotation. The whole body move to produces momentum and energy used to make a smooth, non-stopping transition into rotation. When we think about how much we want to move, the general rule of thumb for us is when you're looking on the camera on film, draw a circle around your belt buckle. So they're right here. We want that circle to at least be in where our rear hip is at. Okay? Now, this needs to be a slow and controlled move. Many kids struggle with this move, especially controlling this move. So, here's some things that we'll tell our hitters so that they can perform this action. This is the same move that you do when you make your throw. So we'll have them just hold the top hand here and then just make a throw. And then now they are able to control their forward move, just like they're throwing. For some reason you put a bat in their hand and they can't do it. So you take this out and they're able to figure that out. Something else we'll try, instead of lifting the knee or lifting the leg, you want to peel it off the ground. Just kind of peel, starting with the heel. Bit the heel up, peel it, and then come forward. That works for a lot of guys. So I hope that makes sense. Let me just share a couple things while we're here. We need to get into this hitting position, this launch position, the ready position, whatever you want to call it. We need to get here on time. If you're able to get here on time, then you will have a much easier time getting your swing off without having to fight your body and without having to compensate. Too many young guys compensate way too much in their swing. So here at Athletic Mission, we're so focused on, first we focus on approach. Second thing we focus on vision, and then mechanics. And with the mechanics, the first thing we're trying to do is make sure that we can get into a good hitting position on time, consistently. You will be amazed how much the swing will clean up if you can get them to swing at the right pitch and they're on time. So another thing to kind of consider is, or while I'm here, when you move forward, you want to sink into the ground. You want to get into the ground. I tell our guys that we should feel our feet. You need to be connected to the ground as long as possible. Anyway, I hope this makes sense. Get balanced in your setup, make a controlled forward move, and sink it to the ground. Hope that makes sense. If you like this video, please hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment, and we'll see you in the next video.